your brain hides a hidden current that can change the way you wake up in 30 seconds. The ancients spoke of a sacred water that would rise through the spine, clearing the mind and illuminating consciousness. Discovered by science only a few years ago, this flow is now called the glymphatic tide. While you sleep, this tide is meant to wash away the mind's residue, dissolve shadows, and restore your clarity. But the modern world has blocked this movement. Stiff bodies, shallow breathing, and restless nights have stifled the vital current. That's why you wake up feeling heavy, as if something were stuck deep at the base of your head. There is an ancient code hidden within you, and it can be activated instantly. Just 30 seconds before sleep are enough to open this passage and transform your morning. This is not theory. It is the precise combination of posture, breath, and the power of the sacrum, the foundation of your inner temple. Imagine waking up and feeling that each thought is clear, as if it had been polished during the night. Imagine having vivid dreams, feeling your head light, as if your mind had been washed from the inside. In the next few minutes, you'll learn how to awaken this sacred current. You'll understand how a simple gesture can trigger a deep cleansing of both the brain and the soul. And once you experience this, you'll never want to fall asleep the same way again. This is knowledge you won't find in ordinary books. It is a code that brings together the precision of science with a wisdom that has always been dormant within us. If you wake up feeling heavy, confused, with a dull mind, something is missing. This tide is within you, waiting to be activated. The path will be revealed now, and you will discover what it means to wake up in a state of remarkable clarity. There is a hidden river flowing within you, silent, responsible for purifying every thought that is born in your mind. It is not just biological, it is energetic. It is the line that separates a heavy mind from an awakened consciousness. When this flow weakens, you wake as if carrying layers of accumulated mental dust. But when it awakens, something remarkable happens. The body rests and the mind is reborn, clean, clear, and ready to create. This inner river is what the ancients called sacred water, a movement that rises through the spine like a silent tide. Today, science is beginning to see what these masters always sensed, that the brain needs cleansing, not just rest. And there is a code capable of amplifying this tide, turning sleep into a true tool for regeneration. This code requires neither belief nor complexity. It's like flipping a forgotten switch inside the body temple, an internal gesture that changes the quality of your morning before the sun even rises. What you will feel is not subtlety. It is a state of clarity that almost no one experiences, because almost no one knows how to awaken this force. Hermes described that what is below is like what is above, and this is the invisible logic behind this current. The movement begins at the lowest point of your body and rises to the luminous dome that governs your thoughts. This is not something overly mystical, but something that has always been there, hidden, waiting to be activated. Imagine opening your eyes and feeling as if every brain cell had been washed during the night. Imagine remembering your dreams with an almost supernatural clarity. Imagine starting the day with such powerful inner silence that everything around you seems to make sense. That is what you will receive here, the instruction to awaken this inner river. We are not speaking of ordinary knowledge, but of an ancestral code confirmed through a modern lens. And once you access this code, the difference will be impossible to ignore. Sleep ceases to be a pause and becomes a creative force. You wake up not just rested, but reborn, ready to move through life with presence. And it all begins today with the revelation of a secret your body has always kept. Ancient traditions viewed the body as a direct reflection of the cosmos. There was no separation between what moved within us and what moved the stars, rivers, and winds. Hermes described the body as a conduit of universal forces, where each inner flow carried a divine correspondence. In Egypt, priests prepared for sleep as if passing through a sacred portal. They believed that night was not merely rest, but a chance to purify thoughts and access visions. The body was aligned, the mind silenced, and the breath became a thread connecting them to what is eternal. Thoth taught that true clarity does not come from the logical mind, but from a vibrant state of alignment between body and spirit. Each cell is like a small chamber, and when the internal flow moves freely, these chambers light up. This ancient vision is not merely poetic, it reflects a deep understanding of how the body holds the keys to an awakened mind. Today, when we look at modern studies of the brain, we find echoes of this same wisdom. The idea that cleansing and clarity go hand in hand. Deep sleep was treated as a ritual, not as an automatic pause. Each night, the initiates sought more than rest, they sought awakening. And this awakening is what you are about to experience directly. In recent years, science has finally begun to map something the ancients had already intuited. The brain has its own purification system, active during deep sleep. This mechanism was identified by neuroscientists and was named the glymphatic system, a network of channels that uses cerebrospinal fluid to remove waste accumulated between nerve cells. Studies led by Dr. Maiken Nedergaard revealed that this flow becomes up to 20 times more intense when we enter deep sleep. During this state, the brain literally washes itself, eliminating toxins linked to mental fatigue, memory loss, and even cognitive aging processes. It is as if each night were an opportunity to reset internal circuits, clearing excess information and restoring mental clarity. What is most fascinating is that the body responds to subtle adjustments, such as slow breathing, relaxation, and posture that support this circulation. Small movements or shifts in internal pressure act as mechanical triggers, stimulating the cerebrospinal fluid to travel along the entire craniospinal axis. This brings modern science closer to what the ancients called the vital flow, confirming that body and mind do not operate separately. When you understand that you can influence this mechanism through simple practices, everything changes. Waking up no longer depends solely on the number of hours slept, but on the quality of what happens within the sleeping mind. Each night, you hold in your hands a biological technology for regeneration, and you can choose to use it or not. This bridge between ancestral knowledge and modern neuroscience shows that both languages speak the same truth. If the ancients used symbols and rituals, today we have graphs and studies, but the goal is the same: to free the mind from accumulated weight and awaken in full presence. With this understanding, you will see how small adjustments can activate a biological intelligence that has always been there, waiting to be used. This is the practical activation, 30 seconds that reprogram your sleep for conscious purification. You will begin with the foundation, aligning the body temple so the current can rise without friction. Nothing here is ornamental. Every detail moves pressure, fluid, and attention. Step 1. Axis preparation. Definition: create a slight pelvic tilt that establishes an upward pressure column. Reason: changing mechanical gradients supports the rise of cerebrospinal fluid along the craniospinal axis during sleep. Microaction: lie on your back and place a pillow under your hips or legs to elevate the base by 10 to 15 degrees. Feel the weight of the sacrum resting, as if anchoring the body to the ground. Adjust your head so that the back of the neck is in a neutral position with no cervical compression. Close your eyes and bring your attention to the gentle stretch in the lower back. Step 2. Directed intention. Definition. Program the field of awareness to guide the flow along the vertical axis. Reason. Focused attention organizes tone, breathing, and microtensions, amplifying the protocol's effectiveness. Microaction. Silently declare, I create space for the cleansing of my brain during sleep. Visualize a silver line from the sacrum to the pineal gland, effortlessly, simply as a silent outline. Remain for 2 breathing cycles, observing as the body reorganizes itself on its own. Step 3. Gentle fasciosacral release. Definition. Nearly imperceptible micro-movements that awaken the perineum and coccyx without tension. Reason. Minimal vibrations transmit waves through the dural tube, accelerating the circulation of cerebrospinal fluid. Microaction. Gently contract and release the perineum for 10 repetitions, 1 per second, with complete relaxation upon release. Notice the spine responding like a cable that transmits impulse. Do not strain, do not clench the jaw, and keep the face relaxed. Step 4. Controlled pressure breathing rhythm. Definition. A breathing pattern that creates gentle gradients of intrathoracic and cranial pressure. Reason. Longer exhalations draw the flow toward the axis, synchronizing body and clarity. Microaction. Inhale, counting to 4, hold for 1, exhale, counting to 6, for just 3 cycles. As you exhale, allow the body to sink and the mind to grow quiet. If any effort arises, reduce the intensity and return to comfort. Step 5. Seal of surrender. Definition. Cease conscious intervention so that the automatic tide can operate during sleep. Reason. The system continues to work when you step aside and surrender the body to deep rest. Microaction. Release the entire technique. Turn to your preferred sleeping position and simply fall asleep. Internal affirmation. My brain will be cleansed as I rest. Safety notes. Avoid elevation if there is intracranial hypertension, advanced glaucoma, or acute cervical pain. If any discomfort arises, remove the elevation angle and maintain only the breath and intention. Total duration, about 30 seconds before sleep. Nothing more. Test it for 3 nights and observe. Lightness upon waking, vivid dreams, immediate focus. If the signs don't appear, adjust the angle, the cadence, or the softness of the pulses. The protocol is simple, but it responds to precision. You have just activated the first portal of neuroquantum regeneration. Now, let's deepen the experience. The protocol doesn't end with the technique. It becomes more powerful when you connect body, mind, and vibrational intention. This means turning the ritual into a sensory and conscious experience, even in the subtlest details. The first point is internal perception. Feel how your body responds after the initial alignment. Notice the micro vibrations, the sense of space in your chest, the different weight of your head on the pillow. The more you feel, the more the body reorganizes itself on its own. The second point is guided visualization. Don't force images. Simply observe the idea of a silver flow rising from the sacrum to the head. Imagine this flow cleansing, like a soft breeze sweeping away fragmented thoughts. If memories or emotions appear, just let them pass, like leaves carried down a river. The third point is emotional coherence. Before falling asleep, choose an emotional state to nourish your brain as it cleanses. It can be gratitude, serenity, or the sensation of lightness. That state defines the frequency you'll wake up in. The fourth point is silent presence. Don't expect anything to happen right away. Don't create tension. Clarity arises naturally when you trust the process. You don't need to control sleep. You only need to make space for the body to do its work. Every detail of this protocol is an invitation to wake up differently. When you give your full attention to those few seconds, the impact multiplies. The mind wakes as if it had been washed and polished, ready for new thoughts and new creations. You've already begun the activation, felt your body respond, and noticed the inner lightness starting to emerge. The third layer of this process isn't about doing more, it's about allowing. When you release control and surrender the body to rest, the system expands on its own. This is the point where the ritual transforms into a field of regeneration. The sacrum continues to pulse in silence. The spine becomes an open conduit, and the brain receives an internal wave of cleansing. You don't consciously notice each movement, but the mind wakes differently, as if it were breathing light. To deepen this effect, anchor an intention for your awakening. Not a vague wish, but a clear phrase. I wake up, renewed, clear, and creative. This intention is the final seal that guides the tide during sleep. Avoid any mental effort in this moment. The night must be a space of surrender, not control. Your role was fulfilled in the first seconds. Now it is the body temple that carries out the work. When awakening comes, observe the impact. You may notice that colors seem more vivid, that ideas come with ease, that your breath feels lighter. These are signs that the tide has done its job. Repeat this protocol for 3 consecutive nights and observe the accumulated transformation. With each repetition, the body learns to enter this state more quickly and more deeply. It's as if you were tuning an instrument that has always been within you, but was never used correctly. At this moment, you are not just sleeping, you are rebuilding yourself from within. And that reconstruction is the portal to an extraordinary clarity, ready to be lived with every new sunrise. Fletcher used to wake as if emerging from murky water. It was as if his mind were covered by an invisible veil that followed him even after sleep. That morning, haze no longer seemed like something physical, but rather a deep absence of clarity. That night, he decided to try something different, a 30-second gesture that promised to activate the glymphatic tide, the secret flow that cleanses the brain during sleep. He didn't know exactly what to expect, but he felt something needed to change. He lay down in silence, adjusted his body, and let the intention lead. There was no effort, only presence. And as he fell asleep, it felt like an internal current was moving through places he had never felt before. The next morning, he woke up different. The light was sharper, his thoughts more organized, his body lighter. It was as if someone had washed every corner of his mind. Fletcher repeated the protocol the following night. With each new awakening, the sense of clarity deepened, as if old layers of confusion were being dissolved. Creativity returned, ideas flowed, and the inner noise lost its grip. He realized that the glymphatic tide wasn't just a scientific discovery. It was a code that once activated, turned sleep into a portal of regeneration. And from that moment on, he never slept the same way again. The only real enemy of this process is the mental inertia that tries to convince you nothing has changed. It acts like an invisible noise, suffocating your ability to perceive the subtle signals the body sends. The mind that craves immediate results is the same one that ignores the internal adjustments already underway. The solution is not to believe more, but to feel more. Each night, observe your awakening as if it were a diagnosis. Lightness, breath, clarity of thought. That reading is worth more than any expectation. Another obstacle is the unconscious resistance to silence. The body asks for pause, but the mind wants to fill everything with stimulation. The ritual requires the opposite. Surrender to emptiness, trust in the inner tide. If discomfort appears, it's not a sign of failure, but of old layers being displaced. Adjust the angle, soften the breath, and allow the process to find its own rhythm. With every attempt, something is being reprogrammed. No effort is wasted. The system needs only your presence, not your control. When the flow is activated, you feel it the next morning. Clarity doesn't shout. It settles in like a quiet yet steady field. Persisting for a few days is what transforms this from a test into a new natural state. And when that happens, awakening is not just physical, it is a revelation. The clarity you seek doesn't come by chance, but from how you care for the mind before sleep. The glymphatic tide is not just a hidden function, it is a silent river that rebuilds you from within every night. When you activate this current, each awakening becomes an invisible renewal, as if something deep had been purified. There are no magical secrets, only applied awareness. 30 seconds of intention and alignment can create a difference that echoes through the entire day. The lightness you feel when you wake up isn't luck. It's the body's natural response when we give it space to do its work. This ritual is more than a method. It is an invitation to reconnect with the forgotten intelligence that lives within you. A lucid mind, vivid dreams, spontaneous creativity, all of that is the result of a body breathing in harmony. Nietzsche said, "There is more wisdom in your body than in your deepest philosophy." And it's that very wisdom that reveals itself when you learn to listen to your inner silence. Don't waste your nights as empty pauses. Every sleep is an opportunity for regeneration. Every awakening can be a new version of yourself. When you care for the foundation, the mind expands naturally. Apply this knowledge, even if only for 3 nights. Feel the signs: sharper focus, a lighter body, a day that begins without weight. These are the signs that the code is working. Stop carrying mental residue that no longer belongs to your present. You hold in your hands a gesture capable of cleansing not just the brain, but the invisible layers of internal noise. When the next sunrise arrives, allow yourself to feel the difference. And when you open your eyes, may you sense that something deep and true has awakened with you. If this content resonated with you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. I want to feel your presence in the comments with the mantra phrase, "I awaken the glymphatic tide and cleanse the mind to create." This is your seal of commitment to the clarity and power already living within you. Share this video with someone who needs to know the silent code that transforms awakening. And don't go just yet. Click the screen and dive into another portal of real expansion and transformation. Remember, 30 seconds before sleep can open the current of clarity that awakens your inner power. When the inner tide is activated, you don't just wake up, you are reborn into the infinite.